Good morning. This is Dr. Bill Wyatt again with the American Orthodontic Society, and I want to talk to you this morning about ectopic eruption. That's where a permanent tooth comes in behind your second deciduous molar and just eat away the root and cause you to lose the second deciduous molar, and then the tooth drifts forward, and now you have an extremely crowded situation developed there. Now, I did not see this young lady until the ectopic erupted tooth had already done its damage and had moved forward in here, and to correct it after you do this or after it's done is a pretty difficult problem to get it just right. So it was an unusual case here to catch it at this time, and I want to show you exactly what happens in this. Let's take a look at this young lady. Let me see just a second here. We've got to get a little arrow going for us. Now, I think it'll go. Now, this ectopic erupting tooth was on the upper right side. It was over on this side of the mouth now, back here where it was erupting, and it had come forward and it already moved the teeth. The deciduous tooth is completely gone. We'll show that. Now, when you lost the second deciduous molar on the right side, the teeth up here drifted in this direction. They didn't have any pressure back there on it. So they drifted this direction and the molar drifted in this direction, and the bicuspid that was coming in there is completely crowded out. This is a perfect example of this, and this should be shown to every pediatric dentist or understand how this is done. So let me go ahead and see. Now here, this is a 6-year molar, and this molar should be back about here somewhere, and the bicuspid or the deciduous molar that it lost would be up in here. These teeth have drifted back in this direction, and this one had already drifted back as he ate away the deciduous tooth that was in here. It drifted over here. Now there's a first bicuspid coming in back here, and there'll be a second bicuspid up above that coming in, and something drastic has to happen. Either you treat it or you've got another problem coming in. Okay, here we show this on the opposite side. It's doing okay over here. This is the lateral, and this is your 6-year molar. So you've got room enough in here for the teeth to come in. We're going to have to squeeze them to get them in there, but on the other side, you do not have that room. So here, you can look at it from the inside, just looking at it there. These teeth right here have drifted in a distal direction simply because this baby tooth, the second deciduous molar that's set in here somewhere, is gone. Now look at this 6-year molar. As it drifted forward, it rotates on this big lingual root, and it turns in this direction as it goes. And you see, this should be over like that. It actually rotated the tooth in here as it moved forward. And so to correct this, we're going to have to push these teeth back over here, and we're going to have to rotate this tooth back and push it back and make room for the bicuspid to come in there. The cuspid will be up in here somewhere, the first bi in here, and then the second bi in this. But it's a heck of a lot of trouble to treat this after it's been lit alone, over this period of time. So we can see what happens here. All right, the bottom arch is, just routine thing. No big problem there. And as we come through the cephalometric picture of it, you don't pick it up too much on this because you're looking at both molars at the same time, but it is there in the cephalometric picture. Now here on we've got a whole string of x-rays here, up to about 8 or 9 x-rays I think that we took in here. But this is where this molar moved forward here. This is the 6-year molar. Now the deciduous tooth was in here and it's gone, and this tooth has moved in and taken up its space. Now, to correct this, we're going to have to back this 6-year molar up and turn it and make room. Here's one bicuspid, another bicuspid, and the cuspid right over here. And these teeth have drifted in that direction also. So we got to push this back and make this go back and open up room for these teeth to come in. So we put this tooth under ectopic eruption, and it's also under impaction. In other words, this is an impaction that's made by neglect of this ectopic eruption. If you're a pediatric dentist or you're a dentist that works on children, you should recognize this to start with, and you can just really tip this molar back and you'll save your deciduous molar, and you'll end up with a very simple correction. But now it becomes a bigger problem to correct that too. So let's take a look at it a little closer now. So there's the second bi. Let's see, that's the second bi. The first bi is in, maybe that's the first bi and the second bi, and the cuspid's coming in here. And it looks like it's just impossible to correct that. Well, you can see it so much plainer here from this angle. This deciduous cuspid is, the permanent cuspid is coming down and is eating the root of the deciduous. Either that's the deciduous cuspid or the first molar. One of them is gone now. And we've got this tooth, and this tooth, and this tooth to put in this little space right here. And it is going to go in there very easily. Now you'll notice these teeth are back away from here. So we're going to have to push these teeth in this direction, and this molar go here, and it shows the second molar and the wisdom tooth will be pushed back in to some degree. And in this particular case, we felt like we had to eventually we've removed the wisdom teeth. This is a perfect example of ectopic eruption, what happens if it goes untreated. So I want to go through this and show you each step. Now this cuspid right here is forming a big follicle, you see, and it's eating away the root of that, and we'll see what happens in here. Okay, we have accomplished some of this. You see this spring we've got in here. It's pushed this back, opening up a space for the second bicuspid to come through here. And now we've got some more spring over here, opening up a space for this cuspid to come. And we've moved these teeth back to the center. But this is a lot of work that was caused by simply not taken care of this 6-year molar when it was erupting too far forward in here. We've got an excellent video on the second molar coming in like that and eating the deciduous tooth away up here. That's a permanent tooth though. So we go here. Now here we're getting a little more room, and we've got almost room for the teeth to come in, and we continue to expand that, and we make more room than we actually need to bring the tooth into place. And we recommend, we see that we won't be able to keep the wisdom teeth in this particular case, and now we've got the tooth in place, and this is in there along with this side over here, and you will be able to see that as we bring the case out. Now here it is. I guess this is about the finish of the case, and we've got the lower 3 to 3 attached in this area. And here, now we're starting out to show you this again. So we put a spring in between here, when we got that down, a spring in that distal part of that, and you can see it coming. Now we've taken the first bicuspid, we worked off of it. We've taken this 6-year molar, and as it pushed it back, it rotated that tooth, and we make some room in here. And there's a lot of expanding and moving the teeth here that could have been involved. It could have not happened at all if somebody had been watching this and knew how to treat an ectopic erupting tooth. But this went untreated. Now, I didn't see the case until after the whole thing was over, and what caused it was the big space in the centrals right there. Okay, this is the other side is slightly crowded, and we expanded in it too. So here the two sides are, we've got expansion for the cuspid now, and expansion for this second bicuspid to come through. We push these teeth back and close this space over here. And on this side, we just had a little expansion to bring that cuspid into place. Now, on the bottom, it was just routine orthodontics, no big deal. Okay, so we finish up the case in 1993, and we've done a lot of work on it here that could have been avoided. And I say one time that a stitch at a time saves 9. And that's certainly the truth in this type of case right here. And on the bottom, everything's lined up okay. All right, here we are, finished the case. And here's the cuspid tooth that's fallen in here, the first by here, the second by, and the 6-year molar is back here where it should be, and it showed the second molar back, and the wisdom teeth had to be removed in this particular case. Okay, now this is what brought the person in. In other words, they saw this big gap coming in the teeth, the gap here, and these were all off to one side. They looked really odd, and so they brought them in. And the thing that caused this was this erupting tooth coming forward back there. So anyway, I hope you pick up what's here. I think that every pediatric dentist and any other dentist that works on children should know what to do with these ectopic erupting teeth as they come in the mouth. Now, if you sit around and wait on a case till they're 12, 14 years old before you start it, you've got a major problem there to do, and many of them don't go done. I mean, they just extract teeth over on the side because it wasn't taken care of. So here's what brought the person in. It's like that. And we went to, let me get over here, went to this. This is, well, like that. And here we go. Now you remember this tooth? It was turned around and it was kind of facing like this. As you push this back, the tooth rotates back in this direction around this large lingual root that's down here, and it'll push the root back too on that side if you put enough pressure on it. And it's all lined up now and coming back here. This is looks good. But there it was. You see how this tooth was rotated like that. And after we finished it, let me go back on that side over there. You see it's rotated here, and that's what happened. Now, this is obviously an ectopically erupting tooth that was not recognized at all. That wasn't why they brought the person in. This up here, this, and these teeth over to the side brought them in, and then this was the problem with the whole thing developing and should have been seen. You see where this molar is, and you can see where this one is right here. So you can see how much further forward this has moved. So thank you for watching. And if you work on children, you should really understand this. Go back and look at the video we've got on ectopic erupting teeth. We've got some good videos on that. Will help you understand that. Now, and why in the world that pediatric dentists that should treat something like this when they're 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, sit around and wait till they're 14 or 12. This young lady, I think we started on her about 9 or 10, something like that. Now the bottom teeth are lined up good. That's where they started, and that's where we ended up. And here is the young lady as she grew older. And this is her after she's mature, and she's got a beautiful set of teeth. And there's where she started, or where we saw her, and here's where she is. I hope you get something from this. We appreciate you watching, and we're trying to, as best we can, to cover as many problems in orthodontics as we possibly can, and get these videos out to people anywhere in the world and to see what should be done in cases like this. So ectopic erupting teeth should be thoroughly understood and be able to treat it by a pediatric dentist or anybody that's working on children. Don't wait until they're older. Then this type of correction a lot of times goes untreated, or they pull out some teeth in there and get them in at a mess. But this is the way it should be done. And thanks for watching, and I'm going to try to close this out and say goodbye. We'll try to see you again, and hope you'll join our group and subscribe to our program here. And we hope that we can show people anywhere what can be done and what should be done in a preventive and way in early orthodontic treatment. And to my way of thinking, it's ridiculous that pediatric dentists don't do as much orthodontic. I've taught all these years with several pediatric dentists and taught in groups of pediatric dentists, but they don't officially get into it, and that's what I really think ought to happen. So I'm not I'm fussing at you in the way I have. So thanks for watching it, and I'm going to say goodbye, and we'll try to close this thing out here for you.